What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 42 of the unofficial NCLEX podcast. This episode is titled Assess Patient for Allergies and Intervene as Needed. So allergies, I can't begin to tell you how essential this is. It should probably be the first thing you're communicating in report and hand off to anyone if you're sending a patient down to a scan or anything like that. And also, it's not just medication allergies. Those are very, very, very important. However, all allergies are really important to note. Some people can have food allergies, and some capsules and ingredients of medications may interact. I have put in orders for a patient with certain meds, and then on their allergy list is various foods, and I'll have somebody, the pharmacist will call me and say, hey, what happens when they're allergic to this? Because the capsule of this med has that additive in it. So really important to assess all allergies and documenting them appropriately, and not just saying they're allergic to penicillin and azithromycin and morphine, but no, what actually happens when they get that or are exposed to that allergen? Do they get mild hives? Do they have an anaphylactic response? That's really important to know. Those differences are essential. And also, one thing I found just working at the bedside with people and, talking a lot about allergies is that there are a lot of people that think intolerances are the same as allergies. So, like example, I've had patients where, hey, what are you allergic to? Oh, I'm allergic to morphine. Okay, so what happens when you have morphine? And then they say, well, it makes me really tired, or it makes me really constipated. Well, those are expected or effects of that medication. That's not indicative of a true allergy. So it's important to know that, in working in neuro, a lot of our patients are started on aspirin. If they've had a stroke for the first time, part of the core measure is for them to have a 325 of aspirin within the first 24 hours. And I'll have to assess if there's any allergies, and oh yeah, aspirin really bothers my stomach, I'm allergic to it. No, we'll get you a coated aspirin. That doesn't mean you're allergic to it. That's just kind of a adverse reaction or intolerance. So it's really important. So you're asking, assessing, you're documenting what happens specifically, and you're asking about all of them. And then the other aspect of this episode is knowing what to do if there's an allergic reaction occurring. So you follow your hospital's policies and procedures. It's helpful when you start out to really take a look at specifically what they want you to do. They'll have a checklist probably, but that will most likely entail notifying the physician and giving appropriate medications. So sometimes that can be they need something like Benadryl, or sometimes it's serious enough to justify epinephrine and being intubated and a huge anaphylactic response kind of thing. So keep that in mind. Take a look at your hospital policy and procedure, and the really important aspect, and I could definitely see an NCLEX or a test question, that part of what you do when there is an allergic reaction is making sure that after the patient's stable and you've gotten them situated, that you're adding that allergy to the chart. That can be something that's easily missed. So don't forget, after you've dealt with this whole thing, like, hey, we gave this patient lisinopril and they had this huge allergic reaction. Okay, we got them situated, but as the nurse, I need to make sure I go in and add that allergy. So that concludes episode 42, Assess Patient for Allergies and Intervene as Needed.
This has been another episode of the unofficial NCLEX Prep podcast. To get the massive PDF guide that goes along with this podcast, head over to nrsng.com/NCLEXprep. That's nrsng.com/NCLEXprep. That's a free download that you can take with you anywhere, and you can basically have this podcast in text format. Our goal here at nrsng.com is to give you the tools and the confidence that you need to succeed in nursing school, on the NCLEX, and in your life as a nurse. We want you to succeed, and we want you to become part of this movement of nurses that is dedicated and motivated to learning and becoming the best nurse that they can possibly be. My name is John Haas, RNCCRN, and I'm the founder of InterSNG.com, and I sincerely thank you for being here, and I'm so proud of you for taking this step in your journey. Now you know what time it is now. It's time to go out and be your best self today. Happy nursing.